spring makeup and switching my whole makeup routine over to something lighter, fresher, and full transparency. I was also heavily inspired by this photo that I saw when I was looking through Kevin Aqua's book that is just so 90s. And it reminded me of like what 90s makeup used to be. First things first, under eyes. So I have a little bit of darkness under my eyes. So this under eye corrector from Kosas. Now I've heard people say other things about these concealers. I can't speak to the concealers. I have only used this corrector. This is in shade Illusion. It is perfect for someone with my skin tone. A little dab goes a long way. It just does what it needs to do. And it's excellent. I use this every day underneath my eye concealer. Now for face, I want to keep it light. I want to keep it fresh. But I do want to have some dimension on my face. And so part of that is like, I'm not going to be doing contouring. So you can get that by doing 2 different shades of concealer, foundation, whatever you're using on your face. A lighter shade under the eyes, around the nose, and right here on the chin, and then darker everywhere else. So I'm using 2 shades of Merit. Now, quick note about these Merit sticks. When I first got these, I was living in Austin. This was years ago when they first came out, and I did not like them. And then I saw Wayne Goss put out a video where he was like raving about them, and I still had them. So I went back and revisited them, and this time I liked them a lot. But I just went to New Orleans last weekend and used them there, and it reminded me of why I didn't like them. In a humid, hot climate, these did not do well for me. They sit on the skin. It just didn't look as beautiful. I live in San Francisco. There's no humidity. They look incredible in the right climate. I can only give recommendations based on my geography, but from where I live, and for most people, because it's not too hot too yet, these Merit sticks I think are pretty excellent. They fill a need that I have always wanted. My entire life I have always done this. I have preferred to use concealer instead of foundation. And I just want to put concealer wherever I need it and maybe blend that out a little bit more. But I love a stick foundation or concealer, and this one just works. It's not too heavy, it's not too full coverage. I would say it's less coverage than the Westman Atelier stick, which is very full coverage. These are like mid coverage. You're gonna be able to spot conceal, but I probably would, I would always recommend if you're using this to spot conceal, powder it afterward. So I use the shade Silk under my eyes, around my nose, and on this chin area. And then I use cream around the perimeter of my face and a little bit on my cheeks. Now, just to add a little bit of dewiness to the skin, I'm still using this Unreal Skin Tint, an Unreal Sheer Glow Skin Tint from Charlotte Tilbury. Love it. I think it's beautiful on the skin. And I'll just do like a swipe here, and swipe on my forehead. And I mix all of that with my fingers. I mix under my eyes with my fingers, and I blend it all over my face with my fingers. Next, I do bronzer. I've always liked a lot of bronzer. I don't think I'm wearing as much as I used to, but this summer springy look, you want to have like a nice bronzy glow. It also helps give a little bit of dimension to the face. I switch between a few different powder bronzers, but I've really been enjoying, this is Make Beauties. This is in shade Lunar. It's lovely compact, has a mirror in it. It's warm, but it's not orange. And then I'm going to add, then this is like very 90s, a very nude taupe shade blush. This is the MAC Pro Pan in taupe. So yeah, it's like much bigger than a regular MAC single. I got this off eBay because I kind of don't think these are sold by MAC anymore. And I know that the person who's selling them on eBay still has them there because I got a couple in my cart. This is such a good multi-purpose product. I used it as blush and then across the bridge of my nose, and then I also used it as eyeshadow. It just gives a whole tonal look, which is exactly what I remember us doing. Look, there was a variety of looks that came out of the 90s, but one of them was like a very neutral, very natural tonal look, and this color is perfect for it. That as the base. Now, I love a lot of blush. I love a bright blush, but one of the things I'm doing with this spring makeup is like a fresher look. It's definitely less blush. However, there are 3 blushes on my face. So the first, and I got all of these, the MAC and these 2 that I'm about to tell you about, I got them all from eBay. These are both from Surratt. It's the shade Classique, which is like a raspberry pink. There may be no, it's pretty matte, I think, actually. Raspberry pink, it's lovely. Super pigmented, super duper pigmented. You only need a tiny, I dab the brush in this and do 1, 2, 3. And like, I don't even get more on the brush. And then I do the same thing with, this is cantaloupe? Yeah, cantaloupe. And just do a little bit of cantaloupe on the underside of the apples of my cheek and a little across the bridge of my nose. I also take my whatever brush I'm using for these blushes, and I dab it on the center of my eyelid just to warm it up a tiny bit and pull. It's nearly imperceptible, but it just pulls that look together. Yeah, and so technically I've got 3 blushes on: taupe, cantaloupe, and classique, but it's just a lighter hand, a little more delicate application. Okay, on top of that, it's spring. Let's bring some fun back. It's freckle season. So of course I'm doing my faux freckles. This is the best one I've ever found. It's the Bobel pen, the collab with Rudy Berry. I got it last year. I've got back stocks of these because I love them so much. I don't know how long it'll take me to run through them. I suspect the rest of my life, because this thing lasts forever. It's super, super functional, not too dark. And then once I'm done with this, I go back and I add my face powder on top just to blend it, just to smudge it and blend it just a little bit. But yeah, that's the face look. Now for eyes, I'm doing Make Beauty's Blade Line. Now the last time I looked at this, it was on clearance. I think they're discontinuing it. Look, I like a cool toned taupe, soft brown type of shade for my eyebrows to fill in the tails. So any old color would do, but you want it to be soft, right? This whole look is like soft, light, you but better, right? This is my all-time favorite eyeliner. It is the eyeliner I use 99.9% of the time. It's the Maybelline Hyper Easy in pitch brown. You can get this for like $7 or $8 on Amazon. They are awesome. It's a brush tip, which is the real like distinguishing factor on this one. It also doesn't run, it doesn't smudge, it just lasts. But that brush tip is really, really nice. It's like a calligraphy brush, because felt tips always get fuzzy and bally at the end, and I just don't love them as much. The brush tip is really where it's at. And then for eyebrows, you want a little bit bushier, a little bit more youthful look. My personal favorite is this Surratt wax. I love the brush on this. It is just so functional. Alternatively, the Anastasia Brow Freeze, the clear pomade, would do the same thing too. And with that, I'd recommend the Smith eyebrow brush, because it is the most impressive. Like no other eyebrow brush even comes close, and it's like $15. It's truly the best you can buy. Now, another aspect of lighter, fresher makeup is mascara, because mascara is a real one of those like components that you can take almost a natural face, but if you've got the wrong mascara, it's going to build it up and just looks a little, it just changes the look. It's no longer fresh, effervescent, light summer makeup. It's like a little more makeup, you know? So this one's going to be new to a lot of you. I am in love with it because it gives me definition. Now, with any mascara I'm going to recommend, you need to curl your eyelashes. Like, that's a part of it. Opening up your eyelashes, curling them, it gives more youthful look. It gives a more bright-eyed look. It takes 10 seconds. I love the Surratt eyelash curler. This isn't a traditional waterproof formula, but man, you need a remover to remove it. It's very long lasting. It's not a tubing mascara. It's not a normal mascara. It's on a stick that has a slight screw to it, almost like it was a screw, like a screw you nail into wood or something. And and you get it right at the base of your lashes and then run it all the way through. You can build it up, but it just gives definition without being distracting. I can still have like a little bit more youthful, fresh face look, but my eyelashes are still, they're part of the party. They're here. I love this one. There are a few brands who make mascara like this, with this like very skinny stick format. One is Surat, the Japanese brand that I've mentioned a few times in this video. They have one. Theirs is a little bit larger stick, metal. Awesome. No complaints. I just like the Winky Lux one best. This is my favorite one. It's called the Detail Oriented Winky Lux Mascara. You can get it at Ulta. And then It Cosmetics also has one. It's called their Tightline Mascara. I've used it before. I haven't used it recently. I just ordered some, so I can't recommend it just yet because I don't know if the last time I used it, It Cosmetics was still owned by It Cosmetics. So that was a long time ago, and I don't know if the formula's changed, so I can't speak to it. The thing about these mascaras is it is a different application process. It takes a little bit longer. You're going to have a learning curve. It takes a moment to figure out how to use this, but not that long. Like, give yourself a few minutes. This is not a mascara I would recommend for people who put mascara on in their car, mainly because it's a stick. It's so skinny, and I just feel like the probability of you accidentally poking yourself might be higher. It just takes a second to get used to, but once you figure it out, because you have to align the stick with the parallel to how your lashes grow, and then follow the shape of the lash all the way up. I think most mascaras with a bigger, fluffier brush are just like a little bit easier to use. You don't have to pay so close attention. So this one does take a moment to figure out, but man, the results are worth it. Like, I didn't comb through this with my Tweezerman comb. It just gives like, I'm loving it. I'm loving this lighter summer look. Finally, some lips. We're doing like just a little bit natural, nude, cool toned, little touch of baby pink. For this, I used the Nabla lip liner, shade number 1. I love these Nabla lip liners. They are gorgeous formulas. The colors are all just like wonderful. The whole range is just of lip liners is great. I love all the colors. And then on top of that, I did this Milk Makeup Soul Search Glossy Lip Oil, just a little bit. And that's it. And I know, I mean, it's like quite a few products to look like you don't have any makeup on. But that is my spring refreshed look.